अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल
Om Namah Paramarishibhyo Namah Paramarishibhya Hari Om Upasakanam yadupasaniyam Upattavasam vadashaki mule Tadhama dakshinyajusha swamurtyam जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षम् अक्षीणदयानिधानम् आचार्यम् आद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तम् विद्राविताशेषतमोगणेन मुद्रा विशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्यमायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महांस्तत्त्वमसीति बोधम् ममाद्य देवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात्कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपामुपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तम् अपाकरोतु ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। Last 15th and 16th verses in Ulladu Narpadu we saw about time and space as two mantras that Bhagavan took to take the mind to the self. Time as நிகழ்வினை பற்றி இறப்பெதிர்வினுக்க, bringing the mind, neither allowing it to go to past nor dreaming about the future, but practicing to make it abide in the present moment. Vartamanam. In Tamil it is nigal kalam. So this is how in the realm of time you bring the mind to quietude. Vartamanam anayasam bhajat bahyadhiya kshanam bhutam bhavishyad abhajat yati chittam achittatam. This is a shloka from Yoga Vasishtha. Yati chittam achittatam. Chittam means mind. The mind stuff. And Vasishtha says the mind becomes no mind. Yati chittam achittatam. How do you do that? Vartamanam anayasam. Ayasam means effort, too much effort. People generally make the mistake that when they come to a spiritual life, the effort they were putting by clenching the fist, by holding the teeth, such statements are there. Even in Vasishtam also it is there. Hastam hastena sampidya. So you use your maximum willpower. So that kind of effort. But in jnanam, it is absolutely effortlessness. You should be constantly training yourself to abide in that state effortlessly. The effort is to unwind, to take you to change the very pattern of your habit of putting too much effort. As long as a person is addicted to effort, he is not qualified for Vedanta. The very qualification that the Upanishad says is you are fed up with effort. Only for such a lazy fellow, Vedanta is recommended. Don't laugh, don't smile. That kind of true laziness is very rare. Laziness, we will think it is about physical body. Tasya alasya dhurinasya. As Ashtavakra Samhita says, that adorable, great, lazy fellow. That is Sadashiva Brahmendra also. Alasya al Mahalasasya. Mahalasasya. He is a Mahalasa. Means great lazy fellow. Supremely lazy fellow. Such a person, for him, the Shastras have Nisheda Vakya. Like you should not do this, you should not do that. You are not qualified to do this. You are not qualified for doing yaga. You are not qualified for doing yajna. You are not qualified for entering the temple. You are not qualified for the... If such statements are there, prohibitions are there, such statements like ma, no, it sounds like music to him. At least you are saying no, not do something. At least you are saying don't do, then I am free. Ma shabdaka vyavahritani manoharani. Says that ma shabda becomes manohara. It becomes very beautiful. Because he is a already lazy fellow. For him this sounds very musical. So that is it. So bringing the mind to the now. That Jivan Mukta Lakshana, Vivek Chudamani, Adlu Sloka Rake, Vartamanam, past, present, future. His mind neither goes to the past nor thinks about future. Udasinyam apiprapte, Jivan Muktasya Lakshana. Achintayan. Neither does he think about the past nor about future. If we leave it here in the Swatma Sukhi Ulladu Narpadu class, after that recording those who listen recording people, they will all fire. This is the sloka, this is the sloka. Everyone will be a scholar. After that they will be messaging. So this is so that is the method of bringing the mind to the now. Vartamanam anayasam. Bringing the mind without effort, effortlessly making it abide in the now. Bhūtam bhavishyad abhajat. Not allowing it to go to the past or the future. The mind disappears. Mind no more remains as the mind. So this is the prakriya that Bhagavan gave about this Nigazhu Kalam. Then Namindri Nāledu Nadedu Nadum Kal. Namudambel Nal Natul Narpadu. The moment you identify with the body, you belong to a space, a time. All space is here. Iha. All time is now. This is a very well known idea which has been spoken by many teachers, but I feel Bhagavan was the opening in the last century. Bhagavan speaks about it in Ulladu Narpadu, where he says that time and space, all you get trapped by them the moment you identify with the body. Now we come to the 17th verse. ஊனமாம் உடல் நானே தன்னை உணரார்க்கு. உணர்ந்தார்க்கு உடலளவே நான் தன் உணரார்க்கு உடலுள்ளே taṉணuṇarndārk ellaiyaṛat tāணoழிrum nāணiduvē yiṇணavartam bhēdameṉa ennuvāy. taṉணai uṇarārkku uṇarndārk. Those who have realized himself and those who do not know their real nature. I recently heard a very beautiful anecdote where two lady devotees, they were searching for Swami Vivekananda because he became so famous. And where is he? So they went in search of him. Then at last they heard that he is staying in Thousand Islands Park. And that was a rainy day night. They sought him there and went there. And they did namaskar. They said, we have come to you as if we would have gone to Jesus Christ. Then he said, alas, if I can make you whole by just uttering, be thou behold, be thou whole. If I can do that, then we came here to know ourselves. And there was so much pathos in his answer when he looked at them. Only if you can know yourself. If you can know yourself, that very moment you know that you are not body, you are not mind. When you identify with the body and mind, it is just like, in a dream, you are a rich person, you are sleeping. In the dream, you identify yourself with the beggar. No food, no water, no place to stay. You are struggling to survive. Such a person you are identifying with. There is logically no answer. Why should I identify with him? Maya means this, that is, there is no logic. The moment you wake up, you find that that person is no more there. That problem need not be solved. That problem vanishes the moment you wake up. That problem does not exist. So too, all our problems about our present existence with body, mind, with our imagined problems, all cease to exist the moment you wake up. Because you are sleeping for innumerable years, Anādimāyaya suptaha yada jīvah prabudhyate ajam anidramasvapnam advaitam buddhyate tada. Anādimāyaya suptaha. Adi means beginning. Anādi means beginningless maya. You do not know when it began, and you were sleeping, dreaming. The moment you wake up, ajam anidramasvapnam, the birthless, the dreamless, the ignoranceless, advaitam, the non-dual Brahman you are, that you realize. The moment you wake up, the whole dream ceases to exist. You are no more this jiva. So too, the present existence, this physical so-called vyavahara satyam, is only an imagination. This is the constant dream. Even in Who Am I, Bhagavan says this. You have to consider that this is all mere dream, not real. The moment you know that it is like a dream, you are free. uḍaṉāṉē taṉṉai uṇarārk. Those who do not know that I am the self, for them the uḍal body is me. Even for the realized, he also has the body, but not simply the body, everything else. Ūnamam uḍaṉāṉē. For the ignorant one, this body is called Unam. Unam in Tamil means, what will we say? Handicapped. You are handicapped with this body. Because limitless is your real being. Boundless is your real nature. And you identify with a small thing and localize your presence and suffer all those things, like this dreaming, identifying with something and suffering. Nothing has happened, but suffering all that dream product. Like that, this is also a solid dream. Dirghasvapnamimam vidhi. This is a long duration dream. You wake up, then the whole problem vanishes. It has to vanish. You have to wake up. Ūnamami uḍaṉāṉē. One who out of ignorance identifies with this body. taṉṉuṇarārk nāṇḍṟa. Those who have not awakened to their reality as the pure awareness, what is their limitation? Their limitation is body. uḍalalavē. Uḍal means measure. Your measurement is only this body. Only this much. kuḍaluḻḻē taṉṉuṇarndārk. That is the beauty. Where do you realize yourself? In the beginning, your feeling of I is within the body. Bhagavan, Vedantically you should not ask, but Bhagavan practically gives that advice so that you can meditate. In Who Am I, he says, what you experience as I within the body. Vedantically you might ask whether it is in the body. It is not. But you feel it as such. In the beginning, you feel that inside the sharira, inside the body, there is a feeling of I. And you inquire, what is this I? Inside this body, what is this I? The Upanishad also says, inside this impermanent body, you realize the self, and next moment you find that the body does not exist. Ashariram sharireshu anavasteshu avasthitam mahantam vibhumatmanam matva dhiro na shochati. He is a brave one who realizes this Atman, and he crosses the border of shoka, grief. And the moment he realizes, he finds that he is no more embodied, he is bodiless. The embodiment is only ignorance. His very nature, in his very being, there is no body, no mind, no ego. That very moment he becomes free. uḍaluḻḻē taṉṉuṇarndārk. See, although self-enquiry, generally we say, the moment you inquire, you realize. We say Sadhyo Mukti. The Guru tells you Tattvamasi, you wake up. Just like the moment you wake up from the dream is over. Like that your samsara is over. Jnate tatvekah samsaraha. That easy, that simple, that direct it is. But when you practice this nididhyasana, self-enquiry, atma-vichara, when you inquire, there, for many who have gone through the path, the pathless path, we can say there are 3 stages. Just like Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita and Advaita, there are 3 stages. The first is the first insight, breakthrough in spiritual life. The greatest breakthrough in spiritual life. The beginning, especially in Vedanta Jnana, is the simple information that you are not the body. That itself is a great news. Because that news never reaches the ear of many. Shravanayapi bahubhiryo na labhyaha. The Upanishad says, millions, billions do not get to hear this news. They do not even hear this news. So all the information, news, media, film, entertainment, medical science, whatever, it is all based on the wrong assessment that you are the body. This information, it is not simply information. You are convinced. Your conviction, your simple knowledge that I am not the body is the first door, the corridor to this temple, veranda to this temple. First thing where you enter. And the second one is when you come to Bhagavan Ramana, is the mantra diksha that he gives you. He gives you a swatasiddha nija mantra. He is not giving you any mantra. He is making you see that you are a great jabakarta. From eternity you have been doing a japa of I within you. This is a great revelation. This is Bhagavan's diksha. This is Bhagavan's initiation. He is initiating you by making you recognize the mantra that is already gonging within you, booming within you, pulsating within you as aham, aham, aham. So, the first thing is I am not the body. Now comes the 3 stages. The first stage is that you look at the I with a mystery, like a mystery you look. Here the Dvaita, Vishishta Advaita, Advaita, all same. Because all of them, they accept this. They do not have any difference of opinion regarding the body-mindedness. Madhva or Ramanuja or Shankara, all of them they say, I am not the body. I am the self. You have to realize the self. That is what Bhagavan very easily resolves this fight. When somebody asked, Bhagavan said, first, all of them accept self-realization. First you attain that, then let us see whether it is Dvaita or Vishishtadvaita or Advaita. That we will see later. All of them, 3 of them, they accept that you have to know what this I is, and nobody said you are the body. Neither Madhva said, nor Ramanuja said, nor Shankara said. So there everyone is reconciled. Samanvaya happens there. So first realize what is this I. Uḍaluḻḷē taṉṉuṇarndārk. The second stage is where you find that this I is separate and you are able to experience. Many people reach this state. You can say this is something like Vishishtadvaita, where you feel that I am the self. Many people, after doing self-enquiry, they say, have experienced the consciousness. I feel that inside me, that pulsation I feel. I am not the body. But still, you find there is an unsurmountable something in between you and Bhagavan, where Bhagavan very often, very casually declares, there is no body. There is no body. It is not your realization. Your realization is body is there. I am not the body. And inside body, I am able to feel this consciousness. Remember, up to this state, you will come. But crossing this bottleneck, just like in deep sleep, this is Jagra Sushupti, just like in deep sleep, where you have the intimation of bodilessness, worldlessness, anatma, as Buddha says, anatma. Anatma means what? They will translate no atma. No, it means no ego, no individual sense, I sense, like in deep sleep. Adrishye, anatme, anirukte, anilayane, abhayam pratishtham vindate. The Shruti says the person gets established in the anatma, the stage where there is no I thought. Adrishya, it is not the seen. Anirukta, it is not something which you can say, define. Anilayane, it is not something outside, like you stay in the body, stay in this place, sit in this chair. No, you cannot separate yourself from your chair. You are the chair, you are the asana, you are the abidance, the place where you abide. Once you touch that, you reach fearlessness. Abhayam pratishtham vindate. You become fearless, you regain establishment. You are established by the very power of the knowledge, power of recognition. So, kuḍaluḻḻē taṉṉuṇarndārk. The moment your mind enters that center which Bhagavan calls as heart, Hirdi Vishamanasa, the mind enters into the heart. It is just like this, I am just reminded about a very, very old incident in our childhood. About 5-6 kilometers from our birthplace, or more than that, there is a hill. And there is, I don't know whether there is a fort there. It's called Fort Hill, something like that. Kotai. So there is... most of the places were like jungles. So children during vacation will go there. Sometimes without telling in the house, they will go there just to play. They will go there. So there was a cave. So there is a lot of story that you enter into the cave, you will see this, that, there is a devata, many things. Like that. So these children, they will be afraid also, because some people will say if you enter into the cave, there are Bhūtaganas. They will eat you. And children, some of them will be very daring. So they wanted to see either Bhūtagana, ghost, or see some devata, or somebody said some treasure will be there. Some treasure. Something like that you imagine and enter the cave. And they entered, 3 or 4 of us, and wanted to see treasure, wanted to see Bhūtagana, wanted to see Ayyappan. It's a Shastra, Dharma Shastra there, and many things like that. And Like that, we entered, and last was a rock, and go that side. Suddenly we found, what did we find? We found infinite sky. Because that was the end of the hill. There was nothing there open. It was infinite space. This is exactly what happens. You go inside, you try to find some solid thing, something, some person, some individual, something. You go inside, and you find ellai oḷirum. You find the boundless space, chidakasham, chidambara, natam hirdi bhaja. It's like you see Chidambara there. You see Akashavan nirmala nirvikalpam nisiyama nispandana nirvikaram antarbahishshunyam ananyam advayam swayam param brahma kimasti bodhyam. It's Akasha. Vinnuru, as Bhagavan uses the word vinnuru. Nunnuru, vinnuru, ellai ara. When all the thoughts subside, what you touch is the vinnuru, the infinite space, chidakasha. So, ellai oḷirum, taṉṉuṇarndārk ellai oḷirum, nān ellai oḷirum. The I is no more limited by the body or manomaya. It is no more manomaya. It is no more connected to prana, no more connected to sharira. It is pure bliss, says the Upanishad. Manomaya prana sharira neta. When he is a samsari, he is covered by flesh, covered by mind, covered by prana, covered by all these things. But the moment he goes deeper and touches the core, he pratishtito āṇṋē. He is imprisoned in this annam, this flesh. But you cross the border, tad vijñānena paripashyanti dhīrāha ānandarūpam amritam yad vibhāti. What shines forth is ānandarūpam. This is the Mundakopanishad. What shines forth is ānandarūpam amritam, the deathless, the immortal, the bliss reveals itself. ellai oḷirum, iduvē yiṇṉavartam bhēdameṉa ennuvāy. This is the difference between the knower and the unknower. The knower also considers the body as me. The unknower, the person who do not know, he also considers the body as me. But the knower not only considers the body, mind, ego, akramya deham cha jagatcha purnaha, parasyameyam tanumatramatma. For the ignorant one, only the body is the self. But once he touches the deepest core and comes back, then he finds that his body, his mind, his ego, his emotions, the world, the name, the form, everything is being pervaded by his awareness. Sarvam khalu idam Brahma. It is all that Brahman which he found as his own real nature. என்ன ஸ்லோகம் அது? அஜ்ஞஸ்ய விஜ்ஞஸ்ய தேகாத்மபாவே அஜ்ஞஜடௌ சமானௌ ஏகஸ்ய தேஹே ஹிருதி தீப்த ஆத்மா. For one, the Atman is shining in the heart. Parasyameyam tanumatramatma. Akramya deham cha jagatcha purnaha parasyameyam tanumat. Hridi dīpta atma akramya deham cha jagatcha purnaha. The Atman is shining in the heart, transcending the body and mind as the Purna Vastu. For the other person, tanumatramatma. Only body is his Atma. Ekatma Panchakam Bhagavan says, Epodum Ulladau Ekanma Vastuve. Once you realize the Ekatma Vastu, taṉṉai tanuvenbāna தானாகொள்வான் தனை அணிந்த ஞானி தரிப்பாய். And he sees that everything is the Atman. So this is the very beautiful verse The significance of this Venba has to be realized through deep enquiry. The Mananam crosses the border of ignorance completely, then one day you will land in that no man's land. You will land in that land, that state where, that Vinnuru, where you find not that you are not the body, you realize that the body is not there. The body is unreal. The mind is unreal. It is like mirage. It is like Maru Marichika. No water there. Only just it threatens you like disease, old age, death, birth. All these things are like film happening in the screen. Chittirathukku ādhāra vasthuvena enbaan. The moment you touch the screen, you know, no cinema. Like that, the moment you realize the self, you know nothing is happening. No world war, no disease, no hunger, no birth, no death, nothing. You are absolutely free. So the significance of this Venba has to be realized through deep enquiry. When one views the Himalayas from a distance, the mountain range seems to be contained within our eyes. It's very small, tiny. But if one goes near and starts ascending the Himalayas, one turns into a speck in its great vastness. Likewise, when one observes from a distance of ashraddha, inattention, the eye appears to be only a spark within the body. When the same eye is approached and attended to intimately with shraddha, the ego eye along with the body vanishes into the seamless consciousness, ellai oḷirum taṉṉil. The me, when scrutinized, will extend and extend beyond the body, the mind, the intellect, the emptiness, the bliss into the infinite. To enlighten one who thinks that he is only the body, the Shastras have this methodology to lead the attention from the known to the knower. To enlighten one, to make you know. You are not the body, nor the prana, nor the mind, nor the intellect, nor avidya. You are the seer who illumines all these objects. When you reject all these, one by one, not this, the residue of pure experience that ultimately remains can neither be accepted nor rejected. The self alone will shine forth divisionless whole. Until then, continue this vichara. So, this is the 17th verse. Now we will enter into the 18th verse. Munnam ulagunmai yagum uṇarvillark, ullārk, ulagalavam unmai uṇarārk. Uலகினுக்கு ādhāram-āy உருவற்று ஆறும் உணர்ந்தார் உண்மை இதாகும். பேதம் இவர்க்கு எண்ணுக. உணர்வு இல்லார்க்கு உள்ளார்க்கு. Those who have awakened, those who have not awakened, those who do not have this unarvu, this knowledge, this awareness of the self. The world that is seen by the senses is real. It's something like a satori. Bhagavan is giving a shocking statement that for the ignorant and the jnani, the world is real. For the ignorant, the reality is limited to the world. For the ignorant, world alone is real. For the awakened one, உணர்ந்தார் உண்மை உலகினுக்கு ādhāram-āy உருவற்று ஆறும். For the awakened one, reality is the substratum on which the world appears and disappears. And it shines forth as formless effulgence. Uru attru ārum. Know that this is the difference between the two. For the Ajnani, the world alone is real. The world which is seen alone is real. For the Jnani, the seer, the light by which the world is seen, the effulgence which illumines the world picture, his attention is turned towards that prakasha. Prakashayati yo vishvam prakashanam prabhakaraha. Prakashatmikaya shaktya prakashanam prabhakaraha. Prakashayati o vishvam prakashonaf prakashatam. By that prakasha, the whole world is illumined. Once you know that prakasha, you know that that prakasha is the Atman, it is the self. Actually, that alone exists. So, these two verses are almost same method. The first verse about body, Bhagavan spoke, here about world. Both are same. Only with the body identity you can see the world. This is proved always. Before, formerly we have spoken about that. That only with the body identity you see the world. Now, Bhagavan says, the world also you can take as reality, as Brahman. Actually, only for a Jnani we can say the world is real. The world is real as Brahma, not as world. Brahma tadvanam Brahma savriksha asit. As the Vedic mantra goes, which says, this forest is Brahman, all the trees are all Brahman. This is the vision. Ekam sat vipra bahudha vadanti. Only one, that non-dual truth exists, which appears manifold as so many names and forms. So where is the world? Even modern scientific inquiry also, they say it is all, they go more and more deeper. Different names they give. First they call it matter, then you call it more and more you go inside. Molecules, atoms, subatomic particles, many things. But the thing is, what you see is not as you see. Something more is there. See, scientifically you can never be benefited spiritually. Because spirituality is all about you, about me. So, scientifically by declaring something or by giving you some knowledge, you will not be benefited, whatever may be said. The purpose is not that. So, purpose happens when the knowledge gives you sufficient power to quieten the mind, where the mind attains that samadhi, that samadhi, that equanimity by seeing the same self. The problem of seeing various other things creates so many thoughts, so many names and forms, attachment, repulsion. All these things, when they go and you get enriched by that knowledge inwardly, you feel spiritually nourished, then only it is beneficial. So that is why it is not simply said that body is also consciousness. No. Bhagavan says, uḍaluḻḷē taṉṉuṇarndārk. When the person realizes the tāṉṇai tattvam, we should never forget this. The I am within you is the tattvam. And when your attention is completely riveted on that I am, then you know that the body, the mind, these things does not exist. And the world also is same, it does not exist. ādhāram-āy uruvatru ārum. Something shines forth, formless. as the substratum inside, deep within. Once the mind, the attention touches that, then the person's vision of the world changes. The world just melts. Its reality is no more. Its hypnosis is no more on you. So that is what Bhagavan says here. Yadidam manasa vacha chakshurbyam shravanadibihi nashwaram grihyamanam cha vidhyamaya manomayam. As Bhagavata puts it, know that whatever is grasped by the mind, eyes or ears, they are all evanescent, illusory and only mere conceptions. Manasa vachasa drishtya grihyate nyairapi indriyaihi ahameva namattonyadidhi buddhyadhvamanjasa. Whatever is grasped through the mind, through words, through any of the senses, O awakened ones, know them to be nothing other than me, the I am, the self. I alone am all this. Thus do recognize here and now. This is Krishna's teaching to Uddhava in the 13th chapter of Bhagavata, Ekadasha, 11th skandha, where he is resolving a great spiritual problem, where Uddhava says that things are coming inside through the senses and the mind is going outside and meeting the senses. There is a I, there is a you, all this contact, these things are happening. How can we separate and stay? The Sankhya teaching looks very practical, that I am the witness. But again, it is a great strain to be witness. Some teachings are very, very powerful, like keep yourself aware, don't get attached. It's a very strenuous job. All through life you cannot do that. That is where the Sankhya stands and Advaita crosses over. Where you say, neither the seer exists nor the seen, just like in deep sleep, the great dissolving state. Like that, nirvikalpa means dissolution of all conflicts, all duality, where you know that the seen is also me, the seer is also me, the seeing also me. Only that one non-dual, ekameva advitiyam, nehananasti kinchana. You realize this inside. See, sometimes through sadhana, people reach great height into this dualistic plane. One great yogi who was always with Bhagavan. You can see in many photos he will be with Bhagavan, and many videos also you can see he will be walking, as Paul Brendan used to call him as a great Buddha-like figure. He was called Yogi Ramaya, about whom Paul Brendan has written in his Search in Secret India. After even Paramahamsa Yogananda, when he came to see Bhagavan, they were all just swept by his presence and by his yogic attainments. Very rare, he will not speak, he will only speak to Bhagavan, he will be keeping maunam. His sadhana was not self-enquiry. He was not doing self-enquiry. His sadhana was only Ramanama. He will be chanting Ramanama. Somebody initiated him, he did yoga abhyasa and Ramanama. And after some sadhana, he was led to Bhagavan's presence. He stayed with Bhagavan. He never took ashram food. He had his own yogic food, natural food that somebody will cook for him, he will take that only. So, he had a state where he simply recognized this, that the body is not me, the mind is not me, the world is not me. And I am the light which illumines everything, I am the separate thing. And he was remaining in that state, and suddenly once he felt everything was subsumed. The world figure, everything was consumed. The I thought was also not there. But the mind again came out and he wanted confirmation. So he asked Naina, Kavikanta Ganapati Muni, and he had a discussion in front of Bhagavan where he said, he asked Naina whether the seen and seer are different or one. We don't know in what dimension Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni took it. But Kavyakanta generally as a discriminating place, he said the seen is different and the seer is different. The seer, the drik and drishya are always different. Drik drishya udvau padartau staha paraspara vilakshanu. Drik brahma drishyam mayeti sarva vedanta dintimaham. So Kavyakanta said the seer, the consciousness which illumines, is different from the object. And he was not convinced. Yogi Ramaya just looked at Bhagavan. Bhagavan just smiled. Bhagavan did not interfere when they spoke. They smiled and said, what Nayana says is true. When you do sadhana, when you do Atma Vichara, you will slowly, like separating milk and water, you will separate the drik and drishya. The seer and seen will be separated, but ultimately the seer and seen both merge in the non-dual awareness. There neither the seer exists nor the seen exists. Only that one non-dual luminosity will be there. Then Yogi Ramaya was satisfied. Yes, that answer he was seeking. To him only, Bhagavan revealed many things about death experience, how it happened to him, and how it was not simply an imagination. Some yoga prakriya happened, like the body was burned, the skin was burning, the bone was burning, the flesh was burning, and the body was taken to cremation ground, was burnt. And then I found that the I has nothing to do with the body or mind. It was there as ellai ollirum, as the pure consciousness. Then Yogi Ramaya said, Bhagavan, you have realized the self, so you so easily speak about it. What about us? Bhagavan said, what is there to speak so easily about truth? Truth is that easy, that simple. There is nothing special about it. I am not simplifying it. It was simple. This is there. This conversation is there. Dialogue is there in talks. Verbally, I have not translated. This conversation is there. Not about this drik drishya. It comes in Yogi Ramaya's biography. And I think it is there in self-realization book also. So, ultimately all this duality is removed. Dvaita is removed. Ni, nan is gone. Nidam kalimayamai nindridum nilayarul arunachala. So this is the 18th verse. So today we crossed 2 verses today. End sloka. So 20 more, 21, 22. No. Next verse is lot of things to be said. Vidhi Madi, destiny and free will. Whether it is destiny or free will. Egg or hen. So we will continue tomorrow. अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल यतो ममात्मा भवसि त्वमेव ततो न वाच्यं मम किञ्चिदस्ति यथा तवेष्टं कुर्वां तथैव त्वाम् आत्मनाथं रमणं भजामि।